What's going on, guys? My name is Mitch. Today we're going to be learning how to play Mascara by the Deftones. First thing you're going to need to do is make sure your guitar is tuned to E flat standard tuning or D sharp standard tuning. E flat and D sharp are the same thing, so whatever your tuner reads, just go with that. On the original recording, they're playing in C sharp tuning, but you don't actually need to do that. If you just tune to E flat, everything is going to be much easier and it'll sound exactly like the song. Here's an E flat if you want to match to me. First part of the song is the intro, same as the verse. It's going to sound like this. So what we want to do there, you want to slide up to the 6th fret on your E string. Can be really from anywhere. I usually slide up from around 2 to 6. It doesn't really make a difference where you're coming from. Slide up to that 6, then you're going to hit the open A string. Then you're going to go down to the 2nd fret of the E string. And then while you're still holding that 2nd fret down, making sure you're not muting any of the other strings, you're going to hit D, A, E strings like this. Let those all ring out for a measure, and then it repeats. On the 4th time at the very end, you're going to hit an open G string at the start of the 2nd measure. That'll sound like this. You only do that every 4th cycle of the riff. So that's it for the verse. Next we have our chorus. You're going to want to start on a 6th fret power chord on the E string. In order to fret that power chord, you want your index finger on the 6th fret of the E string, ring finger 8th fret of the A string, and pinky 8th fret of the D string. We're going to hit that chord 8 times with down strums, sound like this. Then we're going to move our index finger down to the 2nd fret of the E string, and the chord we're going to be hitting is those top 3 strings, E, A, and D. Make sure the A and D are open and they're not getting muted by any of your fingers. We're going to hit that chord 3 times. Then you're going to pick up. So you're just hitting those top 3 strings open. Then back down twice. Then open again. And then back down. So the 4th hit and the 7th hit are going to be open. It'll go like this. Again, that whole chorus riff is going to sound like this. All right, so near the end of the song, we have a bridge riff that comes in. It's pretty similar to that chorus riff. What we're going to be doing is an inverted power chord. In order to do an inverted power chord, we're just going to make a regular power chord like we would on the 5th fret of the A string. So 5 on the A, 7 on D, 7 on G, but you're going to take your index finger and move it up to the E string. So your index finger is covering 5 on the E and the A. And you have all 4 of those strings ringing out. This part of the song you want to strum very gently, and you're going to strum this chord 8 times. Then we're going to move back down to this chord where we have 2nd fret E string, 0 on A, 0 on D, but we're not going to do anything fancy this time. You're just going to strum it normally 8 times, still very lightly. Again, this whole bridge is going to sound like this. The 4th time you play on the bridge, you do the 1st measure normally. But instead of the whole strumming for the 2nd measure, you're just going to do a 2nd fret power chord on the E string, 2 on the E, 4 on the A. Let that ring out, and then we're going to get into the last part of the song, our outro. In order to play the outro, the very first measure, you're going to strum this chord. The only time you're going to strum the chord is just the first measure. What you're going to do is with your index finger, you're going to bar on first fret of the A, D, and G strings. If you're unable to do bars yet, what you can do is just put 3 fingers down there instead. It's going to sound the same. The bar's a little easier if you can get that down. So we strum that chord. Then while holding it down, you're just going to hit the G, D, A, and E strings like this. When you get to that E, you let it ring out for the whole measure, and then you repeat that part again. If you loop it twice, it'll sound like this. And that just repeats until the end of the song. So for the song structure, all we have is verse, chorus, then the bridge, and then the outro. Pretty simple, straightforward song structure. Practice playing along with the track. You can pull it up right here on YouTube, jam along with it. Make sure you're matching the tuning, that E flat, and I'm sure you'll get it down in no time. If you guys have any questions about the song, feel free to ask me down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this lesson, hit that subscribe button for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one.